Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Show to View with Mike G, the show of life, the show of Sotol, basketball, Nirvana, and so much more. Before we talk about Sotol with Hector Amaya from Hacienda de Chihuahua, there are two things in this interview that I'd like you to kind of think about. So one is Hector talks about sustainability with Hacienda, and also he talks about the formation of the DO in 2004, of which financially, probably, and both power-wise, Hacienda de Chihuahua drove that deal forward. But one key takeaway from that part of our conversation is that it was only meant to include Chihuahua first. But once they said, well, you know what, Sotol grows in these other places, then those places were included in the deal, that being Durango and Coahuila. So just think about that. We know that the Chihuahuan desert goes obviously up into Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. So the thought is to have the deal include any place that the plant grows. Now, again, I'm not advocating for one side or the other. So without further ado, hope you guys enjoy this great chat with Hector Amaya from Hacienda de Chihuahua.
Guys, because when I have seen that a lot of Americans go to Mexico and you don't have any problem trying to speak Spanish, but a lot of people that I know that speak English, they come here and they don't want because they shy. In Mexico, we are pretty bad people because if someone says something in English and it's being said wrong, we are going to attack him. Hey, you don't know what you're doing. Ha ha ha. And I have seen that here in the States, you don't do that. Actually, you help us when we don't pronounce it the correct way. You help us, and that's why I believe that when you go to Mexico, you don't have any problem trying to speak in Spanish.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in my family speak English, and when they come to the state with me, they don't like to speak nothing. It's
really?
like, hey, can I help you? Hey. Like that.
Yeah.
So, I'm what the fuck? You take the same courses that I did. What's going on?
Is it kind of like it's kind of like being afraid, right?
Yeah, he's being afraid
of making a mistake.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Exactly that. And I have received people from here that don't speak a lick of Spanish, but they try to do it, and it's pretty cool because you try to help them. Obviously, all the coursework is the first thing that you teach them, but it's cool. It's cool when the people from here go and I see that they try to speak Spanish.
So it's really nice to think of that because so we're recording now, but I remember I went to China. I don't know shit about Chinese, man. Now I know like the culture and the history, but I could not speak it. It's such a different kind of language, you know.
Yeah.
But it's something you see this kind of passion for Mexico in the States, Texas especially, right?
Yeah.
Because we're adjacent.
Yeah.
But so in your travels, and you're going to be in Dallas tomorrow, you're in Houston, do you get that feeling that Texans love Mexican spirits?
Yeah, a lot. Because all the questions are focused on, I want to know the history of your brand, all that kind of stuff. So when you get that question, you know that is because they are pretty interested in knowing more about the brand, not so much about the the liquor obviously is the liquid is pretty important, but the history behind a brand, what makes you different, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? So it's pretty cool when you come to the States and you get that question or that feedback about the brand. Is pretty cool.
It's good. I mean, it must make you feel like what you're doing resonates.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That it's important. And one of the things I think historically about Sotol is the clandestinos. You know, a lot of people. Is that a piece that people ever get into with you? That the Sotoleros had to, distill under moonlight and in the mountains. Is that a big piece of the story that people know?
Yeah, I believe so. We are trying to take this to another level in that way, because a lot of the people think that a lot of things about Sotol is still doing that way,
Right,
but we are trying to focus that the category, the Sotol brands are doing things differently. Obviously, we in Sotol Hacienda de Chihuahua, we try to different ourselves because we do a lot of stuff that maybe not other Sotoleros do. That's what's put our brand on the top, because well, I don't like to brag, but obviously Sotol Hacienda de Chihuahua is the premier brand of the category. So we do a lot of things different. A lot of people that have gone to the distillery, they are blown away. They wow, I didn't think that you have that kind of process. And obviously starts because we are pretty interested in having the kosher certification, the 100% organic, the US organic certification. So that's speak for ourselves. The way that we have the process made, it's pretty different about another Sotoleros. I know that a lot of people are starting to do things in another way, maybe more in, I don't want to say industrial because it's not the word, but
commercial maybe.
Maybe a little bit commercial.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. That's the thing. So we in Sotol Hacienda de Chihuahua are trying to take that next step, so other brands can follow us. We like to open doors for everyone. So
well, you're
that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean the one thing is that you will find the bottle of Hacienda almost everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's so good that you're here to talk about Sotol, because I think what a lot of people think about it, their preconceived notions is, oh well, it's out in the desert. You know, and we both know you do not have to operate that way. And I've seen pictures of the facility, and it is quite beautiful. But for you, as someone who's lived in Chihuahua your whole life, when did you first kind of see Sotol? When did it enter your life? Was it something around the family, or?
Yeah, pretty quickly, because obviously the drink is from Chihuahua, so you always have knowledge about Sotol. So I believe that the first time I hear about Sotol was with my grandfather. He used to like to try different stuff, and I remember I was like maybe 10, 11 years. I'm 40 now, so he bought a Sotol brand. I don't remember which, but he tried with my dad and a couple of my aunts and uncles, and that's the first time that I remember that.
What did you think? Like, what do you think of it now? Because Sotol is so different, and I have kinds of tasting notes that I use to describe it. But for you, why is Sotol the same but quite different than mezcal? It's different than tequila.
Well, the first thing is because it's a different plant. You don't use agave to make Sotol. That's the main difference. It's a plant that we can say is a distant cousin from agave. But the main thing is that you cannot grow the plant. You have to get it in the wild.
Right.
Yeah, so you are never going to see a field of plants of Sotol. Dasylirion is the name of the plant. You can call it Sereque too. That is the indigenous name for the plant. But you are not going to see a field. So that gives a different edge to the plant, because we harvest the plant. It has to have at least 15 years of growth, between 15 and 30 years. So it's different. It's not the same. You can see the pineapple that comes from the plant, and you can put a pineapple of agave, and
totally different.
Yeah, exactly. It's different. So that gives a different edge, a different flavor to the brand, obviously.
So going back, when I think about, why do I want to be an entrepreneur? Why do I want to work in spirits? It goes back, and my folks were both in the service industry to some extent, so it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But for you, this focus on sales, I would say a successful career so far, education and all of that. Is that something that came from your parents?
Yeah.
What kind of industries were they in?
Actually, it does. All my family, from my father's side, always have some kind of business in the commercial business in Chihuahua. So when I was a little kid, I saw my dad always doing like trades, and I hear him, oh yeah, we sell this and that. So I always had that idea.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that when I started growing up, I'm a major in marketing because I didn't quite want to go the sales way. I want to do marketing. But actually, when you are in marketing, and you are a brother of,
That's right.
sales. Yeah. I believe that is a big mistake, that having sales and marketing on different sides, because you target the same goal.
Right.
So when I study marketing, a lot of my friends started like, "Hey man, sales is the way. Sales is the way." And actually, I didn't work in sales when I graduated at first, and I believe it's destiny. They offered me a position in sales, and I was pretty hesitant to do it.
Yeah.
But I decided to give it a chance and see what happens. And all my life, I've been in sales, man. So it's pretty cool.
You have the personality for it. I mean, I can just
Thank
tell.
you,
It's
man.
like sitting down with you. You know, you're really affable, really friendly. Does any of this stem from? Were you into sports? Were you into music?
Into sports.
You know what I mean? Kind of being on the field, being on the stage. What did you play?
I used to play basketball.
Oh yeah.
Well, was the main thing. Well, I play tennis. I play a little bit of soccer, baseball, and I used to swim. But my main sport was always basketball.
You're
I'm tall.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
were you point guard or power forward?
Well, I was the same height that I have today. I'm 6'3.5".
Yeah.
And I was this height when I was like 13.
Oh wow.
So I was pretty tall, and I used to play center at first.
No kidding.
Yeah, then I went power forward,
Yeah.
then a small forward. The problem is that I was pretty accustomed to playing the paint, and then I had to go to shoot 3-pointers. I had a pretty nice touch, but it was hard for me. So then I started getting no girls and all that kind of stuff, and so I left sports on the side. But yeah, I play basketball like for 10 years, maybe.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Do you still get out to play games now and again? I know when you're 40, it's a little more difficult, but
sometimes a lot of my friends still play, so they call me, "Hey man, let's go. I have a game. Come." And I do it not as regularly as I have to do it, because obviously it's good to keep playing sports. But maybe once a month or twice a month, I still play.
No, that's great. Well, it kind of doesn't leave you the things you're passionate about.
Yeah,
Like we're
exactly.
surrounded by guitars in here.
Yeah, I saw it.
So I just can't let it go.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
No matter how old I get. You know, you were talking about before we started recording. You know, Texas, obviously, with it's just north of Chihuahua border, right? And actually, I'd rather go a different direction first, because I've spent some time in Juarez, and
Okay.
I really really enjoy it. But for a long time, even my parents still, they're like, "Oh, isn't that dangerous?" Right? And I know that it's changed a bit over the past 5 years. Even when I was trying to go visit a Sotolero a little deeper outside, people were like, "I don't know if you should go." How do you feel about the safety of it now?
Nah, well, this is the important thing. Yeah, we had a really rough couple of years, obviously, because the narcos were trying to get the hang of the place. But you can almost go to all the state. There are some parts that you have to be careful, but not like you cannot visit or something like that.
Right.
You have to know when and where, but it's not like because obviously the bad things is the things that resonate. If there was a killing or something like that, you are going to hear it. But I think that it got a little blown out of proportions.
Yeah.
So
sure.
that's the thing. But you can travel almost all the state of Chihuahua, and
It's
it's safe. Yeah.
Do you, being in the liquor industry, do you get out to places like Oaxaca, Guerrero, Puebla, where they make other kinds of spirits? Jalisco into?
We used to. Now we are pretty much focused in our stuff, so we don't go and see a lot of the other things that have been made. Obviously, we always keep track of tequila. We always keep track of mezcal, but we are pretty much focused in the things that we are doing. So we don't do it as much as we used to do it.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so now back to where I was going initially. Is Texas is big. You know, we're northern brothers.
Yeah.
to Chihuahua, and it's no surprise that we probably consume the most amount of Sotol in the world here. Is there even a clear number two? Like, is California in the mix? Is New York in the mix for Sotol?
California's in the mix. You know what? Colorado.
Oh, really?
Sotol. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
For y'all?
Yeah. It's a pretty. I'm going to say it like it is. The three most important markets for us are Texas, California, and Colorado.
That's great. I think that's interesting about Colorado.
Yeah. New York, we are starting to see a lot of more interest in New York and in New Jersey. And another state that is doing pretty well is Georgia.
Georgia?
Yeah, Georgia. Yeah.
Hector, can you give me any idea why the hell Georgia's drinking Sotol?
I believe that Georgia is a big agave state. Because I know that a lot of tequila brands are doing pretty well, and we are one a brand that we are not tequila, but we are pretty similar. So that's why I think that they're starting to look at our product like another alternative to the agave. Agave. Yeah, because we are doing pretty well in Georgia, man.
That's incredible because there's a great food movement and music movement there, you know. So I think that obviously music and Sotol music and tequila, they really go hand in hand. But so, you know, the thing about Sotol is it's kind of tequila. You can't. This is something I want to get your opinion on. But you can't make tequila in Texas. We know this, right? It's illegal, right? It's the NAM, the designation of origin. But for some reason, and I know this particular legal reason, which we won't get into. But how do you feel about the Chihuahuan, Coahuilan, Duranguense, you know, this spirit being made in Texas and being called Sotol in Texas?
Well, the thing is that there's some legal issues that I'm not going to talk about.
Yeah, well, I can talk about them for you, so you don't have to mess with it. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. The thing is that when we got the designation that we can make the drink and call it Sotol.
2004, right?
Yeah, exactly. There were, I don't want to say an issue because it's not an issue. It was like you can, if the plant grows in the Chihuahuan desert, that's not only Chihuahua, it's obviously Coahuila and Durango. Right. So that's the thing, that Chihuahuan desert is part of Texas, I believe. So that was the thing, because in the initial part of the process, only Chihuahua was going to make it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Only Chihuahua.
Okay.
Yeah. So because our brand was the one that pushed all this movement.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Us, like leaders, Sotol Hacienda de Chihuahua is pretty into this kind of stuff. So we were the ones that pushed the envelope to make it happen. So initially was only going to be Chihuahua. Then Durango has to be in it, and that's the thing.
That's fascinating because I didn't know that.
Yeah,
because the thing on our side here is when we renegotiated the trade agreement with Canada and Mexico.
Okay.
And this was in June of last year.
Okay.
And what happened, and we'll talk about this off the mic, but there was a particular influence in Texas politics that specifically called for Sotol to not be recognized.
Okay.
So why I find it funny is y'all put in some great work to make it happen in Mexico, and we put some work against it in Texas.
Okay.
So it's just like an interesting kind of combination there. But so I remember I became familiar with Hacienda de Chihuahua years ago, you know, and the Plata, that's the big seller, right? Or do some of the aged marks
the
work
Plata
better?
And the Reposado. The Reposado, yeah, it sells pretty well. Because a lot of people are seeing that we have an excellent quality. And obviously, if you like tequila, well, you are going to like a Blanco and an Añejo. So that's why we something that I have received pretty good feedback is that we have a lot of expressions with our products. We have 9 different.
Oh, wow.
So that's the thing, that not a lot of sotoleros can do this kind of products. And Plata and Reposado are the ones, and the cremas, the cremas that we have. Yeah, the chocolate one is doing pretty well.
What I didn't. So you got not. If you, I know you know them all, but actually for my education, so well, let's count them off. So the Plata I know, Rustico I know. Do you still make that?
Yeah.
Which is great, high proof. The Reposado crema, multiple flavors of crema.
Well, we have in to tell it in order. The blancos, we have Plata, we have Rustico, and we have Platinum.
What is that one?
Platinum has a 3 distillation.
You said 2 or 3?
3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has three distillations, and it's pretty smooth. It's in Mexico they say like it's like terciopelo. It's like velvet when you drink it. Yeah, because it dry is not more dry. It has a different flavor, like more fruity.
I see.
So it's pretty cool. The bottle is excellent because it has a blue blue that makes us apart. That bottle in particular. And then in the añejos, we have the reposado. We have the añejo. We have the gold one that has gold in it.
Okay.
And we have the H5 that is an extra añejo. It has 7 years in the barrel. So it's pretty cool. And then we have the cremas. We have two cremas. One is a nutty flavor. That's the black one. And the white one, it's chocolate.
Oh, wow.
So the chocolate one is doing pretty well here in the States because obviously it's chocolate.
Yeah.
So a lot of good feedback about that one.
Did you notice because it's Hacienda, it's sold in Mexico. Yeah, I've seen it on shelves. It's sold, but when you compare kind of sale, let's say Texas, right? And versus the domestic sales in Mexico, not numbers wise, but just trend wise, do you see it trending upward in Mexico as you do in Texas?
Yeah, a lot. Because we have pulled some good business with big brands in Mexico with big chains. I don't want to say names, but we did that, and we are starting to see, for instance, in Jalisco, it's starting to get a lot of achievements because they are starting to know the brand and know the Sotols, and I believe that they are looking for something different because obviously Jalisco is the main part of tequila. Tequila world in Jalisco is enormous, but they're starting to look for Sotol. So that's something that I caught my eye because in Jalisco, what?
Yeah. Do you know why? Is there this was like more media coverage?
I had the opportunity to talk directly to a customer that through our website got a couple of bottles, and we tried to give him a gift. So I talked directly to him, and he told me that this is different, man. I'm tired of tequila because all my life I know tequila. So when I came across with a sample of your stuff, I really like it, and that's why he started to buy. He buys from us like 3 or 4 bottles per month.
Oh, wow.
And it's for him, and not to gifts. No, it's for him only. So I start to see a growth in the Jalisco market. That's pretty cool.
It's interesting because it's kind of, you know why punk rock started.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing as these traditions. You want to shake the traditions, and no better place to shake traditions of tequila production than in Jalisco.
Exactly.
When people say, and I've been making spirits a long time. You've been in this industry a while. There's one phrase that I hear all the time when people are trying to talk about Sotol. You and I both know it's different species and taste different. The leaves are different. But some people just say, it's just smoky tequila. You hear that? Yeah. How do you feel when people say that?
Well, it depends of the brand because obviously there are a lot of brands that you can taste it and it's really smoky. That's the thing. But in our case, we try to not get into that because the master distiller that we have is Mr. Jose Daumas. It's his life is it's something else. It's like a movie because he was the first person to get to graduate from Montpellier University.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first not born in France. The first.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and he works with us. He's the mastermind behind all our products. So he has experience with Moet Chandon, with Martel. So some of the things that he used to do in that kind of brand is put in our brand. So that's why the quality that we have, the thing that the process that we so carefully do is that really separate us from other brands. So Mr. Daumas, he's really into, this product has to have this flavor note. You are going to see always, if you have a plata, you are always going to know that it's a plata. It doesn't care, or it doesn't make any real difference if it's from one barrel or another. It's the plata. And well, not in this case, they don't do it in the barrels, but
Yeah.
it's the same. And the same with añejo. You are always going to find the same taste. And I, this is my personal feeling. Sometimes when you try another brand, maybe it's a little different between one and another. With us, it's the same quality in all of the bottles.
See, this is French distilling is different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So no wonder the results are more consistent and probably a little more fussy because that's how those guys blend, you know. But I didn't know that. I think that's fascinating because it's a different lens of what you bring in, and then that's described by the distillery so different and all of that. Is there use of French oak?
Yeah.
Okay.
All our barrels are French oak.
Okay. Yeah, I figured.
See, all of them, and they are new French oak.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Only one use. So that's different too because you know it. A lot of the tequileros actually use the brand. The way that they use it is that it's a second use, but for us it's only had Sotol always. So that's something different. So it's something that I try to bring up every time because when you say we use French oak, what?
Yeah.
Really? Because it's not associated to Sotol and
well, you're talking about two completely different.
Yeah.
There's no reason there should be a French oak barrel in Chihuahua. You know, like honestly, unless someone intentionally kind of did that.
That's the thing. We did it that way.
Yeah.
It was on purpose, obviously.
How long has the distillery been open?
More than 27 years, I believe.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Which predates 2004, of which it was finally allowed to. So it's been operating for 10 years or so. It's fascinating to see that. Do you host many visitors in the industry at
this time? Not, because obviously COVID.
Right.
And we are making some adjustment to the plant, to the distillery, so we are not open. Obviously, if we have received this year a couple of visits, the people that are pretty interested in Sotol and in our brand, but at the time we don't open the distillery to everyone.
Yeah, but when things are kind of maybe safer than you can
we used to, and we are going to do it in the future. Yeah. Totally.
When you're kind of talking about the process now, so I'm getting this French blending thing.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, y'all are going to go on these sales visits and stuff. Maybe we're all prepping to go on a sales visit, but that's a huge thing because that's why cognac is incredible. That's why Armagnac is incredible. But many ways that you could cook the plants, many ways that you can distill them. What are some other things in terms of production that you find pretty compelling about this?
We use the installations of the distillery that we have. They were made for brandy. So a lot of the things that they use on the brandy, like the ovens, all the kind of stuff, we use it. So that's the thing. That's what makes us pretty different because the ovens are different. It's not like we use steam with our plant to cook it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty different. If you see the distillery, you will get blown away because it's pretty different that the things that other sotoleros do. So that's a lot of the stuff that make us our product pretty different than the other ones.
And something I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not still, but so many of the sotoleros, they ferment con bagazo, right? Because people know this term. But I think y'all do it without the plant matter, or do you do it on the plants?
No, without.
Okay.
The bagazo.
Which I think that gives you a different kind of cleaner flavor.
That's the thing.
And one, the French wouldn't do it on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So. The bagazo, obviously, after we pull the juices, we don't use it anymore.
Yeah.
So the fermentation is without bagazo. So it's cleaner.
Yeah. Any kind of yeast that you talk about that you use? Is it like a champagne yeast or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like a DV11 or whatever, right?
Yeah, I didn't have to tell you. You figured it out on your own. Yeah,
I don't want to assume. I was talking to a few professors in Mexico recently, and they were talking about Sotol as it becomes more popular. And, you know, to your point too, it's not. I think it's possible to cultivate it, but very, very difficult to cultivate it. Versus agave, which sprouts juelos and stuff. But they had a very earnest concern about the sustainability of Sotol.
Oh, okay. Not at all. We did a pretty big study with some professors of the University of Chihuahua a couple of years ago to see exactly that the sustainability about the product. And the way that we do it is this: we have to have a government permit to cut the plant. So we have to tell them, okay, we are going to cut from here. There are these many plants, etc., for this year. We do it so in 15 years we can come back to that same spot and we can pull the plant again. So the thing that makes us different is we don't pull all the plant out. We cut the plant in order to the roots to be in the ground, so they can again regenerate and make another plant. So if I believe we have secured the production for the next 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's not an issue. A couple of weeks ago, I got the same question in Chihuahua about, okay, you are starting to grow a lot. You are shipping to a lot of parts of the world. What's the same concern? Yeah. What's the sustainability about this product? And we don't have any problem for 20 years at least.
Yeah, I just, because there's different academic perspectives on it. And so I was like, well, okay, because actually one of the folks was in Durango too, saying that Durango is actually going to have a big shortage of agave, especially. And I think that's a question you're going to get anyway.
Yeah.
Especially like in Texas. I don't know where y'all are going to share the product or talk about it, but I can almost guarantee you like half the people are going to ask that. You know? But Sotol, it's most certainly growing, and also in Europe. This is what. Tell me about the situation in Europe. I didn't realize. I know Germany's got some stuff. London's got some.
Yeah, we sell through London.
Oh,
and there's incipient. They're starting to know the product. We are making efforts to grow in the Europe, but it's a little bit. The funny thing is that in Australia and in New Zealand, we are receiving good feedback about the product. We sell. There's a guy in Australia that is pretty enamored with the product, so we are shipping through him, and he's doing his stuff in down there.
Wow.
And he's doing pretty good. Yeah,
that's
pretty
great.
Cool.
I mean, it's just the whole thing is growing. You know, in mezcal, especially throughout Europe, and so I don't really worry about that much in terms of the sustainability plans.
Yeah,
you know, you see them growing around the neighborhood and everything. And, they're pretty hardy. And you talk about, I love that you talk about the root systems. Like, we cut it off above the root. Yeah, because you can't get the root out of the ground. It's just kind of a nice, convenient thing. So when Dallas is next, what is the rest of you're going to do more travels throughout the United States?
Yeah, next week I'm going to make a trip to LA because there's a important trade show down there. So I'm going to go. And I'm now that the border is just at last open, I'm going to start traveling more here to Texas, because for us Texas is pretty important. I'm going to go to Colorado and maybe Nevada. We are starting to expand a lot in other states that maybe wasn't the focus, because we are starting to see a lot of more interest. So maybe at Georgia I have to go. Maybe I'm going to go to New York and New Jersey, because we are seeing some stuff down there. Minnesota is starting to ask for products. So
there you go.
Yeah. Shout out to Minnesota.
Now that things are, I'm glad the borders are back. Kind of come back and forth there. Do you know if it is in Nuevo Leon too? I want to go down to. I can go to Monterrey, but
I believe that all the border is going to be open. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, so now you're going to be traveling all the time. We'll go with an age question here, but traveling's not easy on the body.
Nah.
And being in the liquor industry is also not easy on the body.
That's right.
So when you're traveling so much, you're around cocktails, good food, good people, and inevitably people want to drink Sotol.
Yeah.
Is it easy for you to balance your health and the travel and the lifestyle?
Well, yeah, because I'm pretty accustomed to travel a lot, because a previous job that I held, I have to travel a lot of the time. So I'm pretty accustomed to. I tried, I'm not going to say no to a drink, because obviously if someone wants to know about Sotol, we can do it.
Yeah.
But I try to only a sip, because if I have another visit, imagine I'm wasted. So I have to. But you get accustomed to, because I would sometimes say that it's the adrenaline because for example, in the morning I was like, oh man, another day, and I was like not feeling too well, and I start talking to Gabby, and like my energy went up, and then I started talking to you, and my energy got a lot higher. So a lot of times I see that maybe I'm not feeling so well in the morning. All the day I'm like, what's going on? What are we going to do? And then at night, again, the spike goes down. Yeah. So I believe it's that the adrenaline to talk about the product about Sotol Hacienda de Chihuahua. That's what get me going. So
I think so. What kind of inspires you, right? And why I say this is when you think about people, it sounds like people kind of inspire you. But do you need to listen to music sometimes? Do you need to exercise creative stuff? What kind of
for me it's more like a inner monologue that I give to myself, that you're going to visit this person, and he wants to know about Sotol. You have to transmit the things that make Sotol different. So I gave an inner speech to myself, and then I started talking about the product that I love, because it's not like I work for the company. No, I really believe in the Sotol, and obviously in the Sotol that Hacienda de Chihuahua makes. So that's what gets me going.
I think that's great. This won't go in a too weird of a direction, but have you heard the term manifestation?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, right? Like positivity, kind of putting that out there. I think that's really incredible, because a couple of the people I've talked to recently, when they get up, I mean, beyond coffee being a good motivator, right? The music is, they have to put a playlist on it, or they have to do some meditation. So I think it's really interesting to just kind of see where people are at and how they kind of get prepared for the day, more or less, right? Well, so I've got 2 more questions for you.
Yeah.
This one is a little more creative. I ask everybody this question. So let's say you're drinking the Rustico anywhere in the world, doesn't matter. But you could have a drink with any musician, living or deceased. Who might you like to sit down and have a drink with?
Kurt Cobain.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I hit a chord.
Yeah, well, pun intended. Yeah. Great. That was the band that changed my life.
Really?
I wouldn't have started writing songs if it wasn't for them.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a pretty huge Nirvana fan. Huge Nirvana.
Well, then I'm going to have to ask you, what is one of your favorite songs? Not the favorite. That's probably
well, I have to go with Smell Like Teen Spirit, because it was the first one that I heard. I remember vividly. I went to my home. I turned the TV on, and it was playing in MTV.
Yeah.
And I saw the video and the music. And what is this? And that's when it hit for me. I have to listen more for them, from them. So
it's the same here. There was something about those first chords hitting. Well, I know he does the strum, but actually when the drum fill comes in, whatever. But it was so heavy. Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's not heavy like metal. Metal's heavy, right? This is a whole different thing. But and I'm sure he would have drank with you. I think that probably goes without saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so. The last question for you is, what are you looking forward to next? 9 products is a lot. Do you have some other things that are in the works, or is that your hands are full? Is it a new market? What are you kind of emphasizing on?
We have a couple of opportunities. We were starting to ship to China this year, but things got a little messy because of the COVID. Yeah. So we had to put our plans on the standby. We have a couple of ideas for new things. Obviously, I cannot say because here are on the works. Sure. But the main goal is to keep pushing the product here in the States, because we need a lot of work to do still, because you are correct. A lot of people are starting to know Sotol. They are seeing the possibilities with Sotol in the cocktail industry and all that kind of stuff. But we need to keep growing in the States. But China, we are pretty focused on open that market. We have a possibility with Chile, because in Chile, the Chilean guys, they drink a lot, man.
Actually, I think the sensibilities of Hacienda and the way that it's done, kind of like a brandy, Pisco,
Mhm.
brandy, right? So there's a lot of similar things there. Well, it's been just great chatting with you. I'm glad you're in. Is this your first time in Austin?
No, I came a couple of years ago because I'm a big F1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I came to the first race that you guys have
I
down
remember.
there. Yeah, so...
Are you coming this year?
I don't believe so.
Billy Joel's playing, man. That's a big one for me, man.
Don't tell me more, man, because... Yeah, no, I don't think so. I have to check my schedule because I have a lot of work
There's
to
a
do.
bunch,
Yeah. So it's hard, man.
Well, Hector, I really appreciate you taking the time out, man. We'll talk soon, and hopefully I'll see you at the distillery soon enough.
Thank you for having me. And I believe that this kind of opportunities to talk about Sotol and to talk about Hacienda de Chihuahua obviously helps a lot, not only our brand, but the category. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me, man.
My pleasure. See you soon. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, there we have it. What do y'all think? Hector Amaya, head of sales for Hacienda de Chihuahua. Certainly the biggest, the powerhouse of Sotol production. More placements around the globe. You know, it's nice to have a lighter conversation about Sotol without being dramatic or without people taking screenshots of me. it's nice, you know. But it leaves a couple questions open, you know. Sotol will continue to grow. Hacienda de Chihuahua obviously will continue to grow. Hector talks about some expansion into other areas of Europe and Australia and stuff. And what are we going to do? The plant is a finite resource. There's a lot of plants in Texas, obviously, because we're here in the parts of us in the Chihuahua Desert as well. So I don't know. I'm just going to go back to the sentiment that there's lots of drama from certain folks in this space, but we get a lot more done when we work together. I'll put that again. I mean, this is also in the wake of a Sotol panel that was supposed to occur on Sunday being canceled because of drama. Let's just put it that way, just because of drama. So less drama, more conversation, yeah? Hopefully I'll see y'all in Marfa Agave Fest here in June. We can talk this thing out and sip some Sotol and some Mezcal. All right? So thanks everybody for listening to Show to V with Mike G. No wonder if you're asking yourself, why in the hell do I watch Marriage at First Sight? Or you're thinking, Psych is a really well-written show. Please keep dancing.